1939 was the first. Kerry won the replay. 1951 was the second. Mayo won and went on to win the All-Ireland, beating Meath in the final. Is that an omen for Mayo? I can tell you we've had a very warm welcome here in Limerick. Logistical arrangements have been top class. The pitch is in excellent conditions. There's a strong breeze blowing from left to right as we look at it. Mayo won the toss and they've decided to use that wind advantage in the opening 35 minutes. Everybody anticipating, hoping that we can get something like what we got in the second half, which was undoubtedly the best football match we got so far in 2014. If we get a repeat, we'll all be happy. But who will be the happiest of all, Mayo or Kerry, in the All-Ireland Football Final 2014? Fasten up your safety belts. Hang on, we're on the journey yet again. Breaking ball off Johnny Buckley. Here comes Donald Vaughan inside the Kerry 45-metre line. Backfires Barry Moran, sending it to Andy Moran, no relation, trying to get inside the cover. First free of the evening is for the Mayo captain, Andy Moran.
Yeah, and I was nearly going to say, Marty, I think it's a mistake by James Horn to start Andy Moran, bringing on the artillery so early in the game. He is so effective coming off the bench this year, but collects the first ball and that diagonal ball, and I think Mayo will be looking for a lot of those diagonal balls today into him, and he will sit on the edge of that square.
Cillian O'Connor, top scorer, of course, for Mayo in this championship, with 3 goals and 31 points, including 3 penalties. 2 scored in New York and 1, of course, crucial one last Sunday in Croke Park. Taps it over the bar. Mayo are up and running in the Gaelic grounds in Limerick.
And just touching on one of the points there, I think Colin was making in the studio about the pitch and the dynamic of the game. What you will see here, Marty, is being able to get the ball into the full forward line much quicker than you can in Croke Park. One kick will put it in there. In Croke Park, that doesn't happen.
Barry Moore diving on the ball there, gathering cleanly and obviously legally. Kevin McLaughlin, 3 Kerry players around him. Cormac Riley, match official from County Meath, blows the whistle, gives a free.
Yeah, there was not much of that there, Marty. It was just Kevin McLaughlin pushing away the player, not too dissimilar to Lee Keegan, except with the hand this time this week.
Short ball for as Jason Doherty, comes for as Lee Keegan. Ball inside to Cillian O'Connor and Jason Doherty. Johnny Buckley backtracking. Aidan O'Mahony vacuuming up. Killian Young has to go back for as Paul Murphy. Donegal. Good pressure by Mayo. David Moore had an outstanding first half in Croke Park. Michael Gainey is under severe pressure here. The referee gives the man in possession the benefit of the doubt. There's pushing unnecessarily by Colin Boyle, but it is a free for Kerry.
Yeah, and the game very tight even at the beginning, because when Kerry looked up to deliver that ball long, there was nobody there yet. O'Donoghue and Kieran Donny on the edge of the square, and 60-70 yards, and that's why they played short. But playing it short from this ground is going to mean it's going to be exceptionally physical.
More descent possibly means more gaining of ground. Referee says no. David Moran was the player that was looking for it. Maurice Deegan is the linesman, as you can see at the far side, right beside David there. Bit of running repairs for the Kieran O'Reilly's man. Aidan O'Mahony, Peter Crowley, full-back, centre-back, combining, sending in a low shot, and the goalkeeper Robbie Hennelly had to be alert. Keith Higgins, it was a bit adventurous from that distance, but the goalkeeper passed the test. Seamus O'Shea, stopped by Johnny Buckley, some might say unfairly. Here comes the man himself, Kieran Donaghy, and it's a free for Kerry.
And while Kieran Donaghy is out there, there's now only one player on the full forward line. That's James O'Donoghue with 2 men marking him, and he's running, he's really ducking and diving, looking for that quick ball, but there's no target there for the free taker.
David Moran goes short. Fires Anthony Marr. Back fires Moran again. Wonderful atmosphere, I have to say, here at the Gaelic grounds. Moran touches the ball on the ground. Referee spotted it as well. Free for Mayo.
Both sets of players running into tackles with the ball at the minute. Just they don't have targets when they look up to deliver.
Kevin McLaughlin, Andy Moran making a great run. Goes the opposite direction over towards Cillian O'Connor. It's being double marked at the moment. Loses possession. Down goes bravely Paul Murphy. Quick feed fires David Moran. On fires Killian Young, and here comes the kingdom. It's Paul Gainey. Making a run, James O'Donoghue. Still Paul Gainey. Still Paul Gainey takes a shot, and it just goes to the wrong side of the post. And let's be honest, considering his approach work, he did the hard bit, but the finish was a little bit poor.
Yeah, and he got that opportunity because Barry Moran slipped just at a crucial time while he was tackling him. Oh, and that was a close one. I don't think that was expected coming into that, but well gathered, very well gathered.
Robbie Henley is going to have to wait for the kick out to be taken, because Cormac Riley is going to have a word with possibly Shane Enright and Cillian O'Connor.
And Donaghy wandering now between midfield and full forward line, and the Mayo full back line and the Mayo full on the Kerry full forward line, more or less lining out as they are on the programmes. And the man marking again, Keith Higgins with that job at number 15. And Keith Higgins' job was probably even a bit more difficult today, Marty, because Donaghy is in there, and O'Donoghue doesn't have to be the main target for the primary possession. He will take watching.
So Cillian O'Connor and Shane Enright, as you just saw, are now both on yellow as a result of this little interaction. Kick out from Bobby Henley. Barry Moran's height obviously a factor in James Horan's decision to play him in the middle of the field with Seamus O'Shea. Here's Donegal Walsh. The work rate can never be questioned. David Moran is available if Anthony Marr needs him. Long ball against the wind, remember. Kieran Donaghy underneath it, knocks it down to Paul Gainey. There was just a little touch, and Gainey was home and dry surely for a goal. Kevin McLaughlin. Johnny Buckley is doing great backtracking. Still McLaughlin. Ball is in for Andy Moran. There's two Kerry lads there. One is the team captain from Dr. Crokes in Killarney. Fionn Fitzgerald ends up with Michael Gainey. Donegal Walsh to Gainey. Two Kerry men up front. Here's one of them, James O'Donoghue. Keith Higgins with it. Good challenge by Higgins. O'Donoghue recovers. Great tackling by Higgins, getting the hand in. Back out far is Kieran Donaghy. O'Donoghue, Johnny Buckley coming through the middle. Two Kerry players available to his right. Goes back first, James O'Donoghue. He's going to hit it with his left, and it's left and wide, as it turns out. For Kerry's second wide.
Unusual for him. He'd normally put those over. He had that little opportunities, and great players like him can just snap at those opportunities. But Keith Higgins doing again what he did last Sunday, just keeping the player outside him, and that's all he has to do while the defence gets back in cover.
He's centimetres away from a clear run through for Paul Gainey. You could see his frustration in our replay.
And at the moment, Marty, you'd have to say that both defences are on top. It's very tight when the ball goes in there for either forward line.
Robbie Henley. Aidan O'Shea got a touch. Here comes Peter Crowley. Donald Vaughan and Aidan O'Shea coming through the middle. David Moore. Seamus O'Shea. He's opposite marker. Still Moore. Needs somebody outside, but the referee's whistle is blown. It's a chance for Kerry.
Yeah, great run by David Moore. He just stayed going, and he did what James O'Donoghue couldn't do. That was just get inside the man and then take the space, and the foul was nearly inevitable at that stage. I think the referee allowed him a little bit of a play on there, but the free coming in the end, and this should be a handy one for Kerry.
Scored 1 point last Sunday in Croke Park, as it turned out from a free, although he won a lot of 50-50 balls with Ger Cafferty. And in the replay, he's just scored his first point as well. Sides level for the first time here in the Gaelic grounds.
And so far, you'd have to say, out around the middle of the park, where there is a deluge of players that Mayo or Kerry coming up with most of the possession at the minute and getting forward quite well, quite fast as well. They have two options: move it fast forward.
Robbie Henley's kick out blocked by Paul Gainey, and Henley did well to recover. Keith Higgins. Nerve-wracking moment for a moment. If you're a Mayo fan.
I was waiting for a disaster there, Marty.
So was I. Aidan O'Mahony. Donegal Walsh. Jason Doherty putting the hand in, trying to dislodge the ball, and indeed there's a perfect example of it. It's Lee Keegan. Down first, Cillian O'Connor. Shane Enright seemed to be straight off the ground, but Enright got the benefit of the doubt. Cillian O'Connor still battling hard. Michael Gainey needs a little bit of support. It's available with Jason Doherty, and it's a free for Mayo.
Cillian O'Connor just a little bit nonchalantly going for that ball there, but it was picked up by Shane Enright.
It's Paul Murphy. David Moore. Anthony Marr. Two boys had a wonderful first half. Marr's pass is poor. John Fitzgerald is there. Killian Young. Peter Crowley is in front of us in the stand here, but he's being well marked at the moment by Kevin McLaughlin. Good run by Killian Young. Here's Peter Crowley. He cleverly fisted to himself almost. His challenge on Crowley resulted in a free, which was quickly taken. The referee said there was a head injury there to Peter Crowley, so he's blown his whistle. And Crowley needs some attention.
Crowley a little disgruntled with that. If we saw that again, Marty, you would think that Peter Crowley just charged with his head. Yeah, he did. I mean, the player stood up. I think it was the collision that gave him the free. So in fairness to Colin Boyle, he stood his ground, which you're entitled to do. So I think it was just the collision that allowed him the free.
And Colin Crowley, Peter Crowley I should say, is up and well. And the free going to be taken by Johnny Buckley.
Kerry find it very difficult to find forwards at the minute. Every time they look up, there's too much space between them and delivering the ball.
Johnny Buckley. Michael Gainey was looking for a free, but the referee felt that Johnny Buckley picked the ball off the ground. And I wouldn't initially disagree with him, but let's have a look at it.
Yeah, he went to get, well, he handled it there. I think it wasn't Johnny Buckley, it was actually Michael Gainey who, while falling, just hit the ball on the ground.
Donald Vaughan challenged by Johnny Buckley. Seamus O'Shea equally under pressure from Donegal Walsh. Good pressure by Kerry. David Moore to Kieran Donaghy. D'Angelo Marr, front of the posts, and the ball is wide again. The shooting by Kerry is poor.
Yeah, it's very poor. That was exceptionally poor by Anthony Marr, because he was put into the clear by Donaghy, and well put into the clear on the right side of the park with his right foot, and managed to put that wide. It would have been much easier to score.
Look how long it's been since Mayo scored. 11 and a half minutes. Donegal Walsh. It's almost a replica of last Sunday, 6 days ago, where Kerry looked impressive in the opening quarter of an hour. Here's James O'Donoghue. Keith Higgins with him. O'Donoghue makes an angle, shoots and scores. He is the man. There is no doubt about it. Kerry 2, Mayo 1.
Yeah, a super score by James O'Donoghue, and he had to kick it so high over the player and over the bar, because he is being well marked by Keith Higgins. And you see there the two options that Kerry have: long into Donaghy or short and snappy into O'Donoghue. Both of them lethal options.
Going back to gather, Killian Young. There's a push in the back, however, so it's going to be a free for Mayo.
The delay here really giving Kerry an opportunity to set up. Anthony Maher off screen, back to the right hand side, just dropping right back into the pocket there.
Seamus O'Shea going for the long ball over first Barry Moore, but it was just a little bit too strong. Remember, Mayo playing with a very strong breeze. I was out on the pitch earlier, and it is literally down the middle.
It is, yeah, and you see the effect of it there, that ball going wide. But you know what maybe the viewers can't see is that the movement on the Kerry forward line compared to the movement on the Mayo forward line is just, it's incomparable, because Mayo are not really making those jacking runs. The first one we saw of Andy Moore in the beginning of the game, we haven't seen one since.
Ryan Kelly's kick out is aimed at Johnny Buckley. Shane Enright looking for a runner outside. Fionn Fitzgerald provides it. Michael Gainey certainly has a great engine. He covers an awful lot of ground. David Moore. Gainey available again. Great pressure by Lee Keegan. Shane Enright. Peter Crowley. Back to Enright. Good play by the corner back. Paul Gainey. James O'Donoghue's inside. He's about to pull the trigger. Here it comes. And the ball is wide. It is the 4th wide of the match for Kerry. And their shooting boots are not on in this first half.
No, but actually they're terrible wides as well. What a great pop ball through to O'Donoghue. Look at Donaghy on the left hand side of the goal post, waiting for it, screaming for it, and annoyed that he didn't get it. And O'Donoghue pleading with the referee for something. I don't know what. He should have put that over the bar.
Referee Cormac Riley again is halting the kick out. He's being informed by his linesman, and it's Peter Crowley and Aidan O'Shea that he wants to have a word with. Fergal Kelly from Longford and Maurice Deegan are the 2 linesmen, and you can see them on their little microphones that they have attached.
Yeah, I think there was very little to that, Marty. I think both players just doing a little bit of pulling and dragging. Certainly didn't warrant any cards.
Just interesting, Kerry have had 7 scoring chances, 4 wides. Mayo have had about 1 and have only shot 1 wide. And we've 15 minutes gone. David Moore. Diagonal ball is aimed for James O'Donoghue. Keith Higgins. They're really going to know each other quite well. Oh, Higgins did well. Great anticipation. Good reading of the game. But then he passes is appalling. It's an easy ball for David Moore. Kieran Donaghy. First option is to look to his left. Peter Crowley. Who's coming on the outside? It's Michael Gainey. Under a little bit of pressure. It's a little bit short. Robbie Henley obviously thought there was a deflection and prevented it from going out over the end line and out for 45.
Yeah, there was a deflection. Robbie did the right thing there.
Barry Moore. Colin Boyle. Jason Doherty. Backfires Boyle again. Alan Dillon. Feeds Lee Keegan. Seamus O'Shea. To Brother Aidan. Turns. And that is dropping. It's still alive. It's Killian O'Connor. Is he brought down inside the large rectangle? That looks like a penalty to me. It is.
Yes, has to be a penalty, Marty. Ball dropped inside and an innocuous ball by Aidan O'Shea. Poor ball by Aidan O'Shea, but looks how it turns out. What an opportunity for Mayo to get going in the game, because they really haven't ignited yet.
Full credit to Killian O'Connor. He never took his eye off it. Won a 50-50 ball, a dirty ball as they say. Caught it cleanly. Shane Enright brought him down. He was inside the large rectangle. Penalty. So once again, Killian O'Connor will face Brian Kelly.
And even though there's only a point between them, Marty, you'd have to say that Kerry had the upper hand in this game out around the middle of the park. The forwards were moving better. The Mayo forwards really haven't moved at all. Off screen, they're just not making those moves. And Aidan O'Shea, I think that's his first clean touch of the ball he's got, and even his second touch wasn't good, but it's ended in a penalty.
Last Sunday, 6 days ago, Killian O'Connor rifled the ball to Brian Kelly's right. It was a brilliant penalty. Will Kelly anticipate that that's where he'll put the penalty? Part 2, round 2. Killian O'Connor, Brian Kelly. This time it's along the surface. The result is the same.
Yeah, well, that's clever by Killian O'Connor, Marty, because there's no doubt in the world that Kelly would have been waiting for that, maybe in the same position as he hit it the last time. But same side of the goal, same dive by Kelly, but low and hard, and that's really the best place to put any of those balls. Great score, and Mayo might ignite in this game.
Well, Killian O'Connor can take full credit, not alone for taking the penalty, but winning the penalty. Kevin McLaughlin. Quick ball inside towards Alan Dillon. Little push from the back. Free in for Mayo.
Yeah, protestations there by Shane Enright. He needs to be careful now. I'm not sure if he picked up a yellow for that penalty tackle. He just needs to be careful. But it certainly was a free, and Alan Dillon coming more and more into this game. He's picked up 2 or 3 balls out around the middle, picked up a good one inside and looked dangerous.
There was no card shown to Shane Enright either, Tom.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was surprised, yeah, because he
Black
was...
or yellow,
yeah.
as you say. Here's Cillian O'Connor. Just about gets there. Just about, I'll have to say.
It was just about. I think Cillian O'Connor was looking at it for a long time until it dropped over the bar because it was really close. And we have no Hawkeye, Marty, today.
No. We have lots of things here at the Gaelic grounds. We have the Artane band, in full credit to Croke Park. They moved everybody down here to the Gaelic grounds to make it a special occasion, as it is. David Moore going to take the free.
And he is really looking for Kieran Donaghy or Donoghue to make a move. Doesn't see it and gives it short.
Donegal Walsh. Kieran Donaghy is underneath it. Gathers it almost at the second attempt. He fouled it because he touched the ball on the ground. He was a bit unlucky. He can afford a smile. But Cormac Riley, the referee, is correct.
He is correct. And if Mayo were caught by surprise by Donaghy the last day, that's certainly not happening today, and Catholic are doing really well on it.
Long ball. Brilliantly gathered by Aidan O'Shea. He scored a cracker against Cork. He lays it off. It's O'Connor again, and Brian Kelly is there, but it's in the net. Cillian O'Connor with his second goal in the space of about 3 minutes. What a catch by Aidan O'Shea. What a follow-up by Cillian O'Connor. But it's O'Shea's goal really, because he created it.
Yeah, and it was the catch because when he got the catch, Marty, he was turned inside. He didn't have to beat a man. A great run by Cillian O'Connor. 2 goals in 6 minutes. They say goals wins games. It's certainly put Mayo in the driving seat.
And there's a change in the Kerry defensive setup. Mark O'Shea is on. Gone off is Shane Enright, who gave away the penalty. Also picked up a previous yellow card, as Tom was saying. So this means, from Eamon Fitzmaurice's point of view, an acknowledgement that they have a serious problem in the full back line.
The serious problem is just actually after occurring right there now. Because Shane Enright picked up that yellow, a manager will always be really nervous when he sees his player back one-on-one with another player. They're in trouble.
Ball is available. Aidan O'Mahony somehow regathered it. Has to release it. Referee says too many steps, and it's a free in for Mayo.
Mayo really piling on the pressure at the minute. I think they sense blood. They're going for everything. Once a Kerry man gets on the ball now, they're surrounding him. They're really choking the life out of the first half. We don't know what's going to happen in the second half. They may only be 4 scores to 2, but 2 of those are goals, Marty, and that's a serious lead now for Mayo.
Another free for Cillian O'Connor, who's already scored 2 goals and 2 points in this opening 22 minutes. Remember, Mayo won the toss, playing with a very strong breeze. Right down the middle, blowing from goal to goal, favouring the Connacht champions.
And it's not as if they've used the breeze a whole lot. They've been very controlled in their play. They're moving it nice and snappy from midfield. But as we mentioned at the outset, it's easy to get the ball inside. But a catch by Aidan O'Shea, a foul by Shane Enright has really turned the colour on this game. And Kerry now under pressure, and from a position where they were really holding the hold in this game, they really had the upper hand at it.
No doubt about this one. Straight over the bar.
Yeah, 2-3 after 23 minutes. What a score. Eamon Fitzmaurice looking a little forlorn out there. He's just wondering, what switches can I make? What do I do now? I brought on Mark O'Shea, one of my marquee players. I have Donaghy on the pitch. What else is left there to do? And the danger for managers is that he needs to do something quickly before the game totally runs away now.
It's 11 minutes since Kerry scored, and only one man has scored from Mayo. His name, Cillian O'Connor. Aidan O'Mahony. Anthony Marr to Mark O'Shea. Lee Keegan going back to check here. Good anticipation by Seamus O'Shea. Alan Dillon. Far as Aidan O'Shea. Last touch off the Mayo man. Sideline ball for Kerry.
Aidan O'Shea should have collected the ball much quicker. That was a very lethargic run for the ball, very poor effort for him on his behalf. He was waiting for the player to come into and then gather it.
Mark O'Shea. John Fitzgerald. Aidan O'Mahony. Great pressure by Mayo. Little hand trip, however, means it's a free for Kerry.
Mayo really applying the pressure in the tackle. They're really getting in on the ball, getting in on the player, not letting him look up and give those options. And the only thing Kerry can do at the minute is give short ball.
Keith Higgins, first to the ball, ahead of James O'Donoghue. Alan Dillon. Keith Higgins available. Andy Moran wants it long and high, but that's a little bit too strong and won't cause Kerry any concern.
Andy Moran looked for that ball. It was actually nearly a good ball, but the wind just carried it, and Keith Higgins coming up the pitch to deliver that. And you can see them looking inside even from the beginning of the game for those diagonal balls to Andy Moran all the time.
Great catch, Anthony Marr.
I just sense that Kerry needs scores now. They just need something to settle them down, something to get them going, give them a little bit of hope. They're struggling to do that, struggling to get opportunities.
James O'Donoghue, long ball up first, Kieran Donaghy. Oh, he controlled it really well. He's heading towards goal. The referee has given him the free. Better quality ball.
There were inspirational scores, Marty, but that was an inspirational catch, holding off the man with the right hand, collecting it with the left hand and turning around and going for goal. He knows what's needed at this stage, and there was only one thing on his mind.
Paul Gainey with the free and the point.
Certainly complete opposite from the last day, where we felt that Mayo just weren't in the game in the first 25-30 minutes. It looks like now Kerry are just not in the game, but I certainly wouldn't write them off yet.
Kick out from Robbie Henley. Johnny Crowley gets a touch. Killian Young gathers. Sets up Donegal Walsh. Diagonal ball is aimed at James O'Donoghue. Lee Keegan and Keith Higgins between them. Ensure that the Killarney Legion man doesn't get clean possession. Ger Cafferty. Colin Boyle. Jason Doherty. Brought to ground by Donegal Walsh.
I think he's going to get a card for that.
Referee Cormac Riley certainly is indicating, well, he looked like he was going for his top pocket, then he says go on, because that could have been a black card.
I hear a little bit of a boo from the crowd. They were expecting one as well, but I don't think it really matters. Mayo in total control at this stage.
Colin Boyle. Andy Moore. Kevin McLaughlin. Barry Moran has gone inside. McLaughlin needs somebody outside him as such. It's Aidan O'Shea trying to get inside that Kerry cover. Queuing up. Donald Vaughan hits it, and that is to the left and wide.
Well worked by Mayo. Donald Vaughan picking up a position on the outside left. Look, loads of space, no marking whatsoever. You can see how tight that the Kerry defence are. They're all circled around right in front of the goal. Plenty of space on either sideline.
Aidan O'Mahony tussling, but it's David Moran that gathers. Peter Crowley to Paul Gainey. Good ball inside for James O'Donoghue. 1 against 1 with Keith Higgins. Shrugs him off, and Higgins responds, and Donaghy is there. Kerry are back in the match.
What a score. It just came at the moment that they needed it. It's the first time of the game I see Keith Higgins taking his eye off James O'Donoghue. He crept inside him, as he's capable of doing, and Keith Higgins playing in front of O'Donoghue all day, and that situation with Donaghy following up, that's another inspirational scorer. The game could take off, Marty, because it's been all Mayo so far.
Wonderful defending by Keith Higgins. Wonderful finish by Kieran Donaghy. It's what Kerry, the Munster champions, badly need it.
Yeah, they need to follow up now, and Marty, they need the next 2 or 3 scores. It's no good if Mayo go down and get a score at the other end, because it's at this stage where they need to win at half time, at least 3-4 points behind, and then they can rally themselves again.
And I don't want to be overemphasising it, but there is a very strong breeze which will favour Kerry. I mean, with Kieran Donaghy at the edge of the square in that second half, I think you'll see aerial bombardment as plan A from Eamon Fitzmaurice. Mark O'Shea having a go. It's dropping in. Donaghy's underneath it. Gets away from Ger Cafferty. Donaghy is there. Flicks it back off the post. And waiting for this Tom Caniff. Like a good steady cornerback. Right place, right man from a Mayo perspective.
Yeah, and Donaghy getting the ball inside. The one thing you don't do is let the man turn you inside and get in along the end line. Good effort by Donaghy. Ooh, what a tackle.
Colin Boyle is fouled. Donald Vaughan didn't quite like it. There's a bit of afters going all the way to the wire here, and Donncha Walsh has now gone outside the ring. If this was the National Stadium in boxing, and Walsh hops back in quickly. All a bit unnecessary, but there is tension, and it's quite palpable. Yeah, there's a lot at stake.
Donald Vaughan in a little bit of trouble. I see him here along the barrier, and he was the man that came rushing in when Donncha Walsh was standing over the player on the ground. He looks in a bit of bother, clashed with the barrier, and the referee will take action on this occasion because he feels the game is getting a little bit out of control. Unnecessary, but it happens.
So Donncha Walsh and Donald Vaughan both going to be spoken to by the referee. It's a yellow for both.
I think that's a correct decision. That's all it warranted, really. Now they can get on with the game.
It was a hefty challenge by Johnny Buckley initially. Meanwhile, back live, Kerry win a free. Mayo fans don't particularly like the decision of the Meath official.
Mayo just gone a little bit scrappy, Marty. They're after taking their eye off the ball, excuse the pun, but they're not really marking anybody. They're a bit scattered around the pitch. The only place they're marking is on their own full back line. Other than that, it's quite loose.
Anthony Marr. Long ball coming, but it's a poor one from Marr, sliced off his boot. Keith Higgins calls it, gathers it. Donald Vaughan available. So too Lee Keegan. And a red and green wave heads towards the city end. Andy Moran did well. Slips a ball far as Alan Dillon. Mark O'Shea with him. Donald Vaughan is inside. Jason Doherty wanted the cross. Difficult angle. Killian O'Connor won't reach it. Ball is wide. One senses, Tom, that Mayo are stepping back a small bit because of Kerry gaining just a little bit of momentum. Mark O'Shea's arrival has added a steadiness.
It's like as if Mayo went too far ahead too quickly and they've got lethargic in the game. The bit of composure is gone and they've left an opening for Kerry to come at them in this game, and Kerry have just done that, and nobody more capable of doing it than Kerry team.
Ball loose and available. 5 out of 8 scoring chances for Mayo, 4 out of 10 for Kerry. Picked off the ground, Aidan O'Mahony, free to Mayo.
Getting a little bit scrappy, but correct decision by the referee. It certainly was a free. I pulled off the ground or lifted off the ground. And Mayo getting very little return from Andy Moran on the full forward line at the minute. I'd expected that they might have put Aidan O'Shea in there. They did initially for 5-10 minutes. Got a goal from it, but he hasn't been in there since, and game has bypassed him a little bit.
Killian O'Connor going to take this. He's the only man to score from Mayo in this All-Ireland semi-final replay so far.
That's an incredible statistic, Marty, really, with all the ball that has been up there.
Young Footballer of the Year, 2011 and 12. He has matured and developed to be one of the best in the country. Wind assisted. This is gone to the left and wide. It's Mayo's 5th wide in the match. Disappointment for James Horan. This is a better angle. You can see it just curling. Should have aimed for the far over post, which is Easy to say for me up here.
Well, it is, but that's what all the good coaching advice goes, is far side. Miss it on the far side if you're missing it at all.
Loose ball available. Seamus O'Shea, Tom Caniff. Looking for a little bit of support. Aidan O'Shea. 3 minutes, we believe, of additional time is going to be added on. Jason Doherty, front of goals. Takes his point. And that statistic has just changed to 2 Mayo footballers have now scored. 2-3 for Cillian O'Connor, 1 point. Jason Doherty.
Yeah, there's a few Mayo men queuing up. You can see them there in front of you, 3-4. In fairness, a ball before that Alan Dillon didn't give. They were in the similar position. Mayo players a little bit annoyed that he didn't deliver, but certainly Mayo back on the attack again. Great
work by Cillian O'Connor. He's not waiting indeed for the soft ball to come in to him. He's willing to really work hard. It comes to Aidan O'Mahony. The support play is provided by Cillian Young. Going long to James O'Donoghue. He's looking to get inside Keith Higgins, turning, twisting. He needs somebody immediately outside him. Cillian Young calls. Is he capable of scoring from here? It's dropping over the crossbar. Cillian Young, not known for his scoring prowess in Kerry or indeed nationwide, gets a peach of a point on his left foot. Good score.
A great score, and it took a long time for it to drop, but you're quite correct, Marty. James O'Donoghue, who got the ball in the edge of the square, had no support until Cillian Young came. Maybe came a little bit slow.
And Mayo lose possession. Paul Gainey, the referee's bonus whistle. He felt the Mayo man was fouled. Kerry fans booing it, but I have to say, on initial viewing, we'll have a look at the replay. We'll see what you think, Tom. I think Cormac Riley was right.
I think he was right. He'd been right on most calls. Yeah, close. Maybe if it was out the middle of the park, I'm not sure would it have been given. Yeah, there is a shove. But in every tackle in Gaelic football, Marty, there is physical contact. Every single collision, there is physical contact.
First touch by Doherty was poor. Anthony Marr came in. Peter Crowley has it now. David Moore. Donica Walsh in a lot of space. Mayo are back there in numbers. The long ball is aimed at Kieran Donaghy. It's Donaghy again. Look at the man outside. It's O'Donoghue. It's a repeat of last Sunday. But this time Robbie Henley saves. But there is consternation from the Gaelic grounds in Limerick all the way to Ballintubber and Westport whenever the long ball comes in to Kieran Donaghy and this man, James O'Donoghue.
And James O'Donoghue, because he's living off Donaghy at this stage, he's right underneath him every time, and that's where he should be. Watch him coming in, similar to his run last Sunday to get the goal, loses Keith Higgins in it. And great save by Henley to get down to that ball, but Mayo really panicking on the full back line, even panicking more so as the game wears on. Jason
Doherty. Cillian O'Connor, he's the main threat up front. Get their signals mixed up. Donald Vaughan. He's going for a second point. Jason Doherty hits it with the outside of the boot, and it's over the bar. Good score, Jason Doherty.
That was a super score by Jason Doherty because he had no options. Look at him looking up. He hits it with the right foot on the outside of the right foot, straight over the bar. Great score, and not a single forward in on the full forward line.
And Aidan O'Shea, oh dear, and Cillian O'Connor had a collision, and both of them come out the worse for wear. It's a terrible pity.
Yeah, it is, and both of them will have to go off for treatment because of blood substitution. But it happened because Cillian O'Connor was waiting for Aidan O'Shea to pass him by on his inside, and you can see Aidan O'Shea going to the outside, and that's how the clash happened. They just didn't read each other's play.
Fair play to Cillian O'Connor. Despite getting that nasty injury, he still made sure that Mayo regained possession. It was the full 38 minutes. We were told 3 minutes of additional time, but there might be more now. But Cillian O'Connor and Aidan O'Shea both picking up blood injuries. Kerry regained possession. David Moore. Donica Walsh. Paul Gainey wanted short. Kieran Donaghy is at the edge of the square. He's taken up residence. Here comes Donica Walsh. They're available left and right. Walsh has to go back outside. Good defending by Mayo. It's available still. Kieran Donaghy comes in. Robbie Henley is off his goal line, and that is a free out surely. Picked off the ground outside the small rectangle by the keeper, and it is a free in for Kerry.
Oh, that's a very opportunistic opportunity for Kerry. I would have thought I'd like to see it again, Marty, but the referee very definite about it. A little bit of barge in there, but great defending by Mayo, really getting back in numbers. But Kerry getting inside that cover quite a bit. Yeah, and that's a correct decision. Yeah, very good decision, and it's a handy score.
Paul Ganey gets his 3rd point of the match. But again, Cormac Riley, to his credit, has refereed this match sensibly, and that was the correct call again.
Yeah, he's made very few bad calls.
Just 3 points between the teams. 2 Cillian O'Connor goals in the first half set them on their way. Only 2 Mayo footballers have scored so far. Cillian O'Connor in 2-3, Jason Doherty in 2. Kieran Donaghy has played a major role by scoring a cracking goal and bringing Kerry back into this All-Ireland semi-final replay. Mayo go down to the Ennis Road dressing room. Kerry go down to the city end. And right here, there's nobody leaving except perhaps for a cup of coffee. So don't go away. We'll have analysis right after the break. Half-time score, Mayo 2-5, Kerry 1-5. Thank you very much, Michael. I can see that Tom Parsons seems to be introduced for the second half, wearing number 19. And he's going to come in. He normally plays in midfield as he did last Sunday. There's a bit of a welcome to the Ennis Road between the Kerry and Mayo players, as you can see here. And the referee's attention has now been brought to this scenario, and his umpires down at that end are going to have a brief consultation with him. That's Sean Walsh and Ricky White, who are clubmates of the referee, are down there. So we could have some more cards, depending on the colour here, about to be shown. And referee immediately went to Mark O'Shea and having a serious word with him. Alan Freeman is one of the changes that seems to be there in the start of the second half. Tom Parsons was the one that I spotted initially, but Alan Freeman is there, so there's a yellow card. So a yellow card for Mark O'Shea. So a rather passionate, hectic start. Let's see what happened. This is Alan Freeman, who's just been introduced, and Mark O'Shea and Andy Moran was doing his best to calm matters down there and got entangled, but it's Mark O'Shea that's now on a yellow.
They're cheap cards to give away, Marty. You know, nothing to them really before the ball is thrown in, before the whistle goes, and you're on a yellow card. You're better off putting in a good tackle to get a yellow card.
I can tell you, Tom, there's some confusion along the sideline here. You can see here now where Aidan O'Shea needs some medical attention again, and he's now on the ground in this position. The medical team are going to do some more stitching up or watching that collision, that accident with Cillian O'Connor. And as a result, before the referee started the second half, James Horan informed the linesman Maurice Deegan, who in turn communicated with the referee to hold on for just a few moments until Aidan O'Shea was sorted out.
And he's doing that now, and I don't think it's I think they're looking at him from the point of view of his head. The feet is up, it's not a leg injury. I think it could be from the head injury that he took just before the whistle.
And Tom, Cillian O'Connor is down here as well, so there's a bit of confusion, I have to admit, about the substitution at half time. Tom Parsons is in, Alan Freeman is in, and it would seem that 2 central characters of this Mayo team, Cillian O'Connor and Aidan O'Shea, will not start this second half.
Well, that would be amazing, and I think it's Barry Moran that makes way for Tom Parsons. I don't see him out there on the pitch, but yeah, total and utter confusion, both players on the sideline.
Mickey Conroy has been introduced as well. I can see him at wing forward. Not a good start from Mayo.
Oh, very disruptive start for Mayo. There's changes all over the place, and we wonder why Aidan O'Shea seems to be out of this game. I think it's a touch of concussion.
Here comes Seamus O'Shea, his brother, bursting through the middle. They're leading by 3 at the break, and they get the very first spray. We'll tell you more as we get more news on the sideline, exactly the reasons, but I think, Tom, you're right. I think it's concussion is the problem. The 2 lads are still here sitting on the chairs, as you saw a moment ago, and still getting some medical attention. The medical team being absolutely correct. Precaution, obviously, and their safety is number 1. Meanwhile, it's Alan Freeman who's been introduced and who also, by the way, we can now confirm is also on a yellow card, is going to take the free. First big test for him, and he puts Mayo in front by 4 points.
And we know that Alan Freeman, even if he started this game, he would have been the free taker, but he's a very reliable free taker, very reliable player, and he will certainly do a bit of damage. But my fear for Mayo defence is Donaghy at full forward, and they will leak goals unless they tighten up back there.
Nice layoff by Andy Moore. Kevin McLaughlin coming through at speed. The flick back as far as Moore. This would be a lovely 1-2, but the finish is off target, and it's Mayo's 6th wide of the match.
And if there is any team with control in the game so far, it's Mayo. They've won the last 2 kickouts out around the middle of the park. They've got a score, and they still have a huge amount of substitutions to go through.
Here's David Moore. Good ball up for us, Paul Ganey. As anticipated, the 2 men hovering, Kieran Donaghy and James O'Donoghue. But Paul Ganey won't be complimented with that effort.
No, and not like him, he usually does much better than that. I'd say Donaghy a little bit annoyed that didn't come in. He's been very effective. He has certainly been the pre-match switch so far this afternoon.
Look at the wides count. Mayo leading on that front, which they won't be too pleased with. Paul Ganey, nowhere to go really. Somehow manages to get it back for Donegal Walsh. Killian Young is sending in the first aerial bombardment in this second half. James O'Donoghue gathers, trying to get away from Keith Higgins. Who's available outside? Calling for it is Johnny Buckley. Buckley tries to make an angle, coming through the middle. It's Aidan O'Mahony, who doesn't normally score in championship football, and he hasn't this evening either.
No, he doesn't normally get scoring opportunities. He's named as a full-back, has been playing as a full-back very far up the field there, but Johnny Buckley laying that one on has been very quiet in this game. He needs to come into it much more.
Seamus O'Shea, Donegal Walsh, chasing Harrison. Tom Parsons lays it off as Jason Doherty. Well won. Andy Moore, tripped by Fionn Fitzgerald. Now, what colour is the card? Deliberate, black or yellow?
I think going on past experiences, it'll be a yellow one. I don't think it's send him off. There seems to be a reluctance to give players black cards. He's getting the black.
The Kerry captain is off, but he can be replaced. I think it's clear an example of a deliberate trip here. Here's the hand trip by a footballer we've seen in the championship. I really think the referee did the right thing here.
And Andy Moore really doing well to pick up that ball. He's customary go down on the ground, pick up the ball and get inside.
Killian O'Connor is going to be wearing number 28. He's back on, and he's coming across immediately to take the free. There's debate along the sideline with Aidan O'Shea and the management team. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Who's coming on for Kerry? Looks like Barry John Keane, but I can tell you more about that in a moment. Aidan O'Shea is still being kept in reserve. Barry John Keane doesn't normally play wing back, but he's the player that looks like that's going to be introduced in a moment. So Alan Freeman is the player that's gone off again. So that was a blood substitute, and he took his point well. Meanwhile, the effort is gone to the right and wide off the boot of Kevin McLaughlin.
That's a poor effort by Kevin McLaughlin. But Kerry coming with a double substitution, Marty, and that should make a difference. They're plugging the defence and they're putting other attackers in up front. Has become quite scattered, quite confusing in terms of who's on, who's off. Aidan O'Shea was on the sideline. He was actually pleading his case with the physio to go back on.
So Kerry have introduced Pat Kilkenny from Glenbeigh, Glencar. He's on the field. He takes the place of Fionn Fitzgerald. Nicely nipping in as Killian Young. Pass didn't reach its destination. A little bit of extended holding by Kevin McLaughlin, preventing the free being taken quickly. David Moran again is looking around to see who's available. Peter Crowley the nearest. Aidan O'Mahony back to Moran. Slipping one through. Michael Gainey on the overlap. Peter Crowley. Kieran Donaghy is waiting for the long high ball. James O'Donoghue takes the pass, shoots and puts it between the posts for his second point of the game and his first in the second half.
Great score by James O'Donoghue. Turns aside, but he's so quick. All he needs is a little bit of space, and he delivers accuracy. He delivers length, slipping aside Keith Higgins. And Mayo, you feel over the last 4 or 5 minutes, from a personnel point of view, become quite unsettled.
Robbie Hennelly's kick out goes straight out over the sideline, as you see, and it's quickly taken by Michael Gainey. It's a testing ball from Mayo. Up goes Kieran Donaghy. Fantastic catch. Here's O'Donoghue. He's brought down. Another penalty. Has to be. Surely. Yes. Keith Higgins can protest. So too can Donald Vaughan. But the old 1-2 that worked for Donaghy and Colin Cooper for years is now working for Donaghy and James O'Donoghue. Long high ball. Fantastic catch by Donaghy. Here comes O'Donoghue. Penalty.
And he's been doing it all afternoon. He's been the danger. Everybody signified it. James Horn knows about it. O'Donoghue knows about it because he's living off Donaghy at the minute. What an opportunity.
Here's James O'Donoghue facing Robbie Hennelly. Goal for Kerry. Sides are level in this All-Ireland Senior Football semi-final replay.
Sides are level. Kerry are on the up. Mayo in a little bit of trouble. All the switches, all the changes. Aidan O'Shea still sitting down. Don't see him playing any more part in this game. What a loss. It's going to take leadership for Mayo now.
36,256. Can you hear them wherever you are in the world? Because the chanting, the shouting, the roaring is huge. Donald Vaughan fouled. Free for Mayo. Alan Dillon, Keith Higgins, Kevin McLaughlin. Level only twice in this All-Ireland semi-final replay. Mickey Conroy. Killian O'Connor fires Andy Moore back to O'Connor. Slipping one through. Tom Parsons. Overlap provided by Killian O'Connor. He shoots. Difficult angle. Good pressure by Kerry. Ball is wide.
Yeah, good pressure by Kerry, but they're getting numbers back there, Marty. They sense there's an opportunity in this game. They just have to stop Mayo scoring anytime they get those opportunities. They've become parity in the middle of the park. They're on top in defence. They've Donaghy up front. You'd have to say the cards are stacked for them. It'll take something special by Mayo.
The Kerry kick out was just a little bit short. I'm not too sure it was outside the 20-metre line, which is part of the rules. Park Kilkenny. Mark O'Shea. Anthony Marr. James O'Donoghue. Getting by Keith Higgins. They're double marking. Higgins wins the ball. Fantastic defending by Higgins. 10 out of 10. Superb. Mickey Conroy. Slipping one. Ferris Lee Keegan. Well, sometimes replays don't live up to the drawn games, but so far this is turning out to be quite a thriller.
This half is really end-to-end stuff, Marty. Both teams really going for it because both of them sense that this will be the last day. Don't see another replay. Don't see extra time on this. Both of them will go for it.
Alan Dillon. Good ball inside. Kerry backtracking. It's Andy Moore under severe pressure. Sliding tackle from Alan Dillon. No free given. Dillon knocks it back. Peter Crowley had it momentarily. The tackles are ferocious. And Crowley cools matters down. Farrell's Brian Kelly. Aidan O'Mahony. There's half an acre between himself and Donncha Walsh. Running by Michael Gainey. Diagonally. Held back. Long ball up. Breaking ball to James O'Donoghue, and he'll take off, and away he goes. Brought down by Keith Higgins. Free in for Kerry. The dynamic duo of Donaghy and O'Donoghue are causing serious concerns.
Yeah, absolutely lethal, and the referee gave the advantage there. The point is registered. Great play by O'Donoghue. He's really given Keith Higgins a time, but with Keith Higgins having to put the finger in the hole in the dam so much this afternoon, has played him so well, but Donoghue has been brilliant.
What a catch. Anthony Marr. Killian Young. Giving it long. Inside is James O'Donoghue. Keith Higgins backtracking. Away goes O'Donoghue. What's he going to do? It's deflected out for a 45.
The pressure coming on that Mayo full back line, as we predicted it would, as everybody predicted would. Keith Higgins lost the ball in the sun. That's how Donoghue got inside. And every time that a lot of the times that O'Donoghue won ball has been inside Keith Higgins, because Keith Higgins has to take the chance and play in front of him.
First 45 of the match. Kerry were down 3 points, a goal at half time. They now lead by 1. Aidan O'Shea. Final words of encouragement and tactical awareness from James Horan. And certainly Mayo could do with Aidan O'Shea around the middle of the field right now.
I know that feeling. A player trying to plead his case to go on the pitch. As a manager, you know in your heart and soul he's not in a position to. And the medical advices don't.
David Moore. First 45, as I mentioned. It's swinging left and wide. Well, it's time to draw breath, Tom Carr.
Yeah, I wonder, Marty, are they making the decision to put on Aidan O'Shea? He is certainly so keen to going. Hand up to the referee. They need him, Marty. They need him on that pitch if he's fit to go on it.
Well, Aidan wants to come on, but I think the Mayo management are reluctant. The medical team have obviously advised not to bring in Aidan O'Shea.
Kerry really taking control of this game. They've won the last 3 balls out around the middle of the park. They're getting free inside. Mayo totally unsettled.
And here he comes.
They're bringing him.
Mickey Conroy comes off. Aidan O'Shea is back on the field. David Moore dropping this in. It's a great kick with the wind. Knocked down by Kieran Donaghy. And James O'Donoghue wasn't far away.
Not surprisingly, Martin, those balls going in there, there's just one-on-one and one-on-one. Defender attacker, defender attacker. There's no Mayo defence coming back to take the breaking ball off by Donaghy, and they should be retrieving back there to pick up that ball.
It's 12 and a half minutes since Mayo last scored. David Moore continuing on the form he produced in the first half in Croke Park 6 days ago. Gainey, Tamar, Killian Young available. Peter Crowley. There's another option. Look at the running by Mark O'Shea. 34 going on 17. Giving it back first, Peter Crowley. To Mark O'Shea. Can he score? Can he what? A man dropped at the start of this All-Ireland semi-final replay. There's no other way to say it. What about that for character from the Gaeltacht man? Well, after all, he is the late Paddy O'Shea's nephew. Look at this for sheer heart top.
Absolutely brilliant stuff, Marty. But it's the running, it's the passing, it's the energy they're showing. They're pumped, Marty. They're really ready for the last 20 minutes of this game. It's all Kerry.
Breaking ball picked up by Killian Young. Making himself available as Peter Crowley. He slips one through for his Donegal watch. Diagonal ball is aimed at James O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue knocked away by Big Tom Parsons. As far as Keith Higgins. Picked up by Seamus O'Shea. Colin Boyle is immediately to his right if he needs it. He doesn't. He's looking for the long ball. As far as Andy Moore, who's made a great run. But he's tackled with the result that quick ball cannot be dropped in. Quickly taken. Lee Keegan. Killian O'Connor. Dropping it in. It's a testing ball for the goalkeeper. He takes it, but the ball is dropped, and Andy Moore gets a touch.
It stands, Marty. I was waiting for something there. No, but it stands. The green flag has gone up. An inspirational score. Another high ball kicked in on the edge of the square. Mayo are back in this game. It's topsy-turvy. It's back being anybody's.
This should have been the keeper's ball. Kelly was under pressure, fairly it must be said, and there was just a touch from Andy Moore. What a replay. Comes down first, Kieran Donaghy. trying to get away from Ger Cafferty. Cafferty did well. Seamus O'Shea gathers, and the pendulum, the momentum, swings from Kerry back up to Mayo. In the twinkle of an eye, Aidan O'Shea has to go the scenic route. His strength and physique holding off the challenge of Johnny Buckley. Buckley is surely fouled, no free given. Ball picked up by Seamus O'Shea. It's heart-stopping. It's non-stop action. Yeah. Free for Mayo.
Absolutely great stuff, Marty. It's as good as it was last week. Certainly the second half is living up to the same billing as it was last week. I thought Seamus O'Shea was also fouled as he was getting the ball in it, but Cormac Riley reluctant to blow that whistle, and correct, he's right, because the game is flowing. There's no malice in it whatsoever.
Wonderful atmosphere. So no matter where you are in the world, we hope you're enjoying this. Brian Kelly had it. Kevin McLaughlin put the pressure on.
And really what should happen, Martin, in those situations, the keeper, in any doubt whatsoever, he should just punch that ball back out the pitch. He didn't do so, and it has cost Kerry.
And Captain Andy has brought his county back in to this All-Ireland semi-final replay. Battling for a place in the final on the third Sunday in September 21st. Remember, tomorrow we're live on the Sunday game with the other semi-final. Dublin, Donegal, sellout crowd, Croke Park. It's a feast of Gaelic football on RTÉ television. And here comes David Moore. Aidan O'Shea under pressure. Here comes Paul Murphy, a young fella that never played minor football for his county, but he's developed into one of Eamon Fitzmaurice's stars in 2014. Cillian O'Connor, Lee Keegan, Andy Moore. Good pickup despite the pressure of Kilkenny. Kilkenny comes away with it.
Does very well to come away with it, because Andy Moore had that ball, and every time he's caught the ball he's gone to ground and turned inside, but Kilkenny doing very well in that occasion. They look for Donaghy.
Here's Barry John Keane laying it off first, Peter Crowley. Here comes the big high ball, 1 against 1. Donaghy is there, he has it again, bearing down and goal. What's he going to do? Back to James O'Donoghue, and it's over the bar. The traditionalists will love this game of football when you've Kieran Donaghy playing. Big high ball, catching it magnificently under pressure. Lay off first, James O'Donoghue, another point.
Yeah, but you can have two tactics. You can play it quick and fast, as Kerry have done all summer. They just changed the tactic 15 minutes from the end of the game last Sunday, and they've applied it so well this afternoon. Donaghy really dangerous inside every time.
Aidan O'Shea scrambling. In comes Colin Boyle, head down. He was heroic 6 days ago, and he's producing it again. Lee Keegan, Andy Moore, Park Kilkenny trying to stay with it. Still Andy Moore, and he flicks it and he puts it over the bar. And Mayo are back in front.
Well, like you say, Marty, the pendulum is swinging one way and the other, and it's the smallest little things that makes that pendulum swing. And a substitution being made. Declan O'Sullivan, who I'd expect to come on earlier in the game, now there he is.
Player gone off is Johnny Buckley. Referee is having a brief consultation with his umpires again. I'm not too sure whether he'll take any action. He's going straight to Andy Moran.
And in fairness to Cormac Riley and the umpires and the linesmen, they've been working very well all together all afternoon. Correct decisions being made, common sense decisions being made, cards where they deserved.
Kick out from Brian Kelly. Anthony Marr outnumbered. Kevin McLaughlin. Good ball inside to Cillian O'Connor, and that is over the crossbar.
Marty, you have to look at that ball again from Kevin McLaughlin. Best ball of the game. Just from 40 yards straight onto his chest. Never broke stride. Kicked it with his right foot. There's two tactics in this game, Marty. Donaghy, O'Connor. That's all you're going to see for the next 15 minutes. Find those two men as quick as we can.
It's riveting. Pulsating. About 5-7 minutes ago, Kerry were the dominant team, in control. Now it's Mayo.
And this will go to the wire. They will look for Donaghy every time, O'Donoghue or Donaghy. It's easy to predict.
James O'Donoghue pumping this one up into the air, dropping down towards Kieran Donaghy. Lee Keegan is there, but the referee has blown his whistle and he's given a free in for a foul on Kieran Donaghy.
I'm surprised at that. I'd like to see it again. Caskergy goes across, both of them fighting for it, two of them challenge for it. No foul yet. Still no foul. Is it a pick-up? I think it must have been for the pick-up, Marty, because there was certainly no foul on the dropping ball.
Another substitute. It's Ricky Conroy that's back on as Kerry take the point. It's a goal and 5 points James O'Donoghue has scored this afternoon and evening.
And this game really could go anyway, Marty. It's just no telling the pattern to it.
Kick out is a good one from Robbie Henley. Tom Parsons. Back out for Seamus O'Shea. Kevin McLaughlin. Easy ball, one back. Anthony Marr goes long. Tom Caniff leaves it behind him, but Keith Higgins is there. Caniff gives and goes. Aidan O'Shea fully recovered, thankfully, from that accidental collision with Cillian O'Connor. Seamus O'Shea gets away from David Moore, flicks it out first Colin Boyle. Lee Keegan calls for it this side. Kevin McLaughlin is unmarked at the moment. Chance for Jason Doherty. Scored twice in the first half. Has it the legs? Has it the accuracy? It's yes on both counts. Wonderful recovery by Mayo.
There was never any doubt about that. He knew at the minute it left his boot. He turned away. He raised a fist to the crowd. Great play by Mayo. Great play by Kerry. What a game, Marty. It's a super, super game.
Some interesting information for you. Own kickouts 1, Mayo 6 out of 19, Kerry 13 out of 19.
And I think that ties pretty much in the way we felt the pattern of the game was going, Marty.
Here's another one of those kickouts. Breaking ball. Aidan O'Shea. Quick one. Where's Jason Doherty? Kevin McLaughlin is making a run to his right. Conroy looks sharp. Back for his Doherty. He's just scored. Oh, that's a good block down. Good defending by Aidan O'Mahony. Paul Murphy under pressure from Cillian O'Connor. Still Paul Murphy. Good play by the Rathmore man. Peter Crowley. David Moore. Anthony Marr. Kieran Donaghy is looking for it. And here is Donaghy. Rebound comes to Tom Caniff. Colin Boyle. Donald Vaughan. Tom Parsons. Seamus O'Shea. Back first Kevin McLaughlin. Tom Parsons. Slipping one through to Andy Moore. Look who's intercepted. Declan O'Sullivan.
This game is going to go on a bad pass or a break.
Anthony Marr up first, Donica Walsh. Crossfield ball is aimed at Barry John King. Tom Caniff right behind it. Still Barry John King. Good work by the Kerry man. The shooting is just a little bit off and the ball is wide, but the referee's blown his whistle and Mayo are protesting, but obviously the Meath official felt that Barry John King was fouled as he was kicking the ball.
The problem here, Marty, is he was fouled while he was kicking the ball. He was fouled there. He was fouled when he got up and held back there. He got the advantage play. He got in his shot. I think that's a big problem. That's a real grey area. He got the shot, got the advantage, didn't take it.
James O'Donoghue. It's straight over. 1 goal and 6 points for James O'Donoghue. Eamon Fitzmaurice's team are only 1 behind as Kerry introduce another substitute. He's the equaliser from last Sunday. Dr. Croke's man, Kieran O'Leary, is on for Michael Gainey. 9.5 minutes left in the Gaelic grounds in Limerick. 1 point between the teams. 3 times they've been level. David Moran surely being held. Referee had his arm up to indicate advantage. Long, high, dropping ball. James O'Donoghue's chasing after it. It's O'Donoghue. He'll volley it. Now the referee is going for another penalty. It's another penalty. Unbelievable. As he was about to pull the trigger and let fly, he was held back, and Ger Cafferty is the player that's called aside by the referee.
Well, that penalty certainly could be a game changer. He's talking to Cafferty. He's consulting with the umpires. Does it have to be a black if it's a foul in there?
Let's watch this again, Tom.
Yeah, it goes in with the foot. Not sure if he makes contact with the ball. It's a 50-50, another talking point, and we've had plenty of them. Not sure if he made contact with O'Donoghue. I feel he made contact with the ball. Big call by Cormac Riley. It's still a penalty. It's still a possible game changer.
For the second time in the second half, we have a penalty between James O'Donoghue and Robbie Hennelly. Same spot? Not at all. Brilliant goal. Fantastic. The pride of Kerry. He is the man, James O'Donoghue. 2 goals and 6 points for O'Donoghue. 2 goals and 4 points for Cillian O'Connor. It's a penalty extravaganza.
O'Donoghue very clever going to the opposite side. Henry felt he was going to go to the same side. Great play by him.
And the pendulum swings again from Mayo back to Kerry. Donncha Walsh, ball bobbling all over the place. Gone down is Tom Parsons, free to Mayo.
And the ball now like a piece of gold. Everybody going for it. So important possession, so important, but composure really important for Mayo.
Keith Higgins. Andy Moore surrounded. Good layoff. It's Conroy. What's he going to do? He scores a point. Good score by Conroy.
Great score by Conroy. If it goes to extra time, Marty, we'll have another 20 minutes. That's what's going to happen. I think we're going to have extra time in this game. It wouldn't be a bit surprised. We're heading that way.
Well, I'm very happy here in Limerick, Tom. Enjoying this one. Kick out from Brian Kelly. Oh, Anthony Marr. Ball bobbling, ball available. In comes Conroy. Jersey pulled by Peter Crowley. Referee right beside him. And he will want to have a word with the Kerry number 6.
Well, I asked the question, is that as cynical out in the middle of the pitch as it is on the 14-yard line? In my book it is, but they tend not to give them the black cards out here. Cormac Riley, who has been consistent, now it's a yellow.
But it could have been a black.
It could have been black, but I suppose really academic at this stage when you can replace a player.
Free is quickly taken. Oh, Paul Murphy. Wonderful catch. Referee gives him the free as well. Not easy to replace the legendary, great Tomas O'Shea, who wore the number 5 for so many years. But this young fella, Paul Murphy, has produced the goods this year. Another young fella is Declan O'Sullivan. Killian Young. Kieran O'Leary. Slipping one through. Aidan O'Shea has the situation read. Is that a foul and a layoff? Not too sure. We'll have to look at it again. Kieran O'Leary came in to challenge. Referee says no foul. Lee Keegan, surprisingly, may I add. It's Keegan. Looking around at options. It's Cillian O'Connor. Dropping this in. It's tailing Andy Moore and can't get a touch. Ball is wide.
Ball is wide, and I expected Cillian O'Connor to kick it from here. So important that he uses his possession well, and he is the man. He's the man to get the scores for Mayo. They will look for him every time. Andy Moore still on the pitch. We thought he'd have a 20-minute cameo in this game. He's been influential right from the beginning, and I feel he'll have a part to play yet.
Well, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're enjoying this. I know Alan and Ciara Murray are enjoying their wedding in the Broadhaven Bay Hotel in Belmullet and are indeed wearing their Mayo jerseys I hope you enjoyed the rest of the wedding party, and I hope you enjoyed the Saturday game. But wherever you are, what a match this has been between Kerry and Mayo. Sometimes replays disappoint, but this is pulsating. You can't take your eyes off it, can you, Tom?
Yeah, and one of the things about this replay, because it's in Limerick, you might have felt that it would have taken the Croke Park factor away from it. It certainly hasn't done that. In fact, it's an advertisement for bringing it down to grounds like this. What a great game, great occasion, pulsating atmosphere here, and the crowd really on their toes.
Dermot Murphy, former Kerry keeper, with Eamon Fitzmaurice, discussing what the options are.
Still down on that injury, and that's O'Donoghue, I think that's down there, is it, Marty? Yeah,
it is.
And that's from the tackle with Aidan O'Shea. The crowd felt there was a foul. He was over physical in it, and he certainly would be a loss for Kerry. Struggling a little bit, has been down since that tackle. And no doubt if he can at all, he'll resume. He's been a hero all afternoon. What a tally of scores behind his name.
Cormac Riley ensuring that he can continue on. Keith Higgins and James O'Donoghue, sporting men through and through, can even afford a little smile in this tension-packed match, where the biggest prize of all is a place in the All-Ireland final against Dublin and Donegal at stake. Mayo introduce another substitute. This is Kevin Kane, who played cornerback last year, 2 years ago in the All-Ireland final. Kieran Donaghy giving him a wry smile, the old-fashioned way that cornerback, fullback comes on and says hello to the full forward.
Very traditional. Two managers now racking their brains to see can they make one last little move to make the difference.
Tom Parsons back to Lee Keegan, free to Mayo. Option is to go short for Aidan O'Shea. To Mickey Conway. Mark O'Shea. Still Conway. Laying it off for us, Jason Doherty. He's already scored 3 times. Aidan O'Shea. Tom Parsons. Andy Moran is unmarked. Declan O'Sullivan is now playing almost as cornerback. Back outside. Lee Keegan. Oh dear. Never anywhere near the goalposts.
No, poor effort by Lee Keegan. Really shouldn't have shot. He was trying to screw it off the right hand side of his right foot. Didn't work for them. Wasted opportunity. Mark O'Shea down injured, and he's looking for attention. Not sure how injured he is, because Kerry need a breather. They need possession. Everything's so important. Next kick out is crucial, as they all are. Kerry have been winning most of them.
Just to tell you as well that Jonathan Lyne has come on for Donncha Walsh in a change in the attack. Although Jonathan Lyne is able to play wing back as well, but if Mark O'Shea has to leave, it would be a huge loss. Look at the clock on your television screen. 69 minutes and ticking. Kerry 3:11. Mayo 3:10. Mark O'Shea. David Moore. Who's available? Anthony Marr. Mark O'Shea fully recovered from injury a moment ago. Pat Kilkenny. Mayo want the possession. Young Kilkenny needs a bit of help. He does it all on his own. First David Moore. Ball first Kieran O'Leary. He scored the equalising point. Crossfield ball first James O'Donoghue. The 1-2 with John Keane. James O'Donoghue wanted outside him. He goes for the score, and it is well wide. There are now 10 seconds left in playing time. How much time will be added on? Is there enough for possession? Mayo have to regain possession here and try and force an equaliser. Last week it was Kieran O'Leary. This week it's Mayo that need possession, and they've got it. Kevin McLaughlin goes long. Brian Kelly comes off his goal line. He punches clear. They have to regain possession. Mayo don't have it, and away come Kerry. No foul on Killian O'Connor. Peter Crowley has it. David Moore. We're deep into injury time now. Still David Moore. Free to Kerry.
Holding on to possession is crucial, Marty. That's all Kerry are doing, and that's all they need to do But I think Mayo will get another opportunity. Cillian O'Connor looking for a free there. Was a 50-50, could have been given him, but in the spirit of the game, I think Cormac Riley made the correct decision.
Long ball, good ball. David Bourne, Young Keane, Gary John. Back outside first, Kieran O'Leary. Same position as 6 days ago when he scored a point to level the match. This one is wide.
Two crucial wides for Mayo. Two crucial opportunities for Kerry. Does that keep Mayo in the game? Does that keep them with an opportunity of levelling this game and bringing it to extra time? Referee will give them a chance. Cormac Riley looking at his watch.
3 minutes. Time added on, but Mayo have about a minute and a half to get an equaliser and force extra time. Donald Vaughan. Michael Conroy says, leave it to me. Conroy. Gone through as Donald Vaughan. He scored in the past. This is the most important kick of his career. Or fisted pass. It's over the bar. Mayo and Kerry are level again.
Who could have predicted a finish like this again? It's seldom you get them two in a row. What a score. What composure from Mayo. Everything now surfacing. Effort, hunger, need, want, spirit, character. We've had it all. And it'll all unfold, and more of it will unfold in the last minute. Next score surely will win this game.
Level for the fourth time. Who can get the winner in the last 45 seconds or so? It's a free for Mayo. Cillian O'Connor inside the 45-metre line. 72 minutes, 24 seconds.
Will they have a go? He's looking at James Horn, as they do. Bring it up. Yeah, they're going to have a goal, Marty, and it's going to be a long one. They need to knock it dead.
They're bringing up Robbie Hennelly, the goalkeeper, to take the 45. Well, it's a 45-metre free, but this surely is the last kick of the game. 72 minutes, 44 seconds. In case you're from Kerry or indeed from Mayo and you can't watch the television screen. Robbie Hennelly, goalkeeper from Brafey, going to take this. If it goes over the bar, Mayo are in the All-Ireland football final.
This is an all or nothing, Marty. No.
James Horn can barely watch. Here is Hennelly. It's good. Has it got the legs? Up goes Donaghy, fists it away. Surely the referee blew a whistle, and we have extra time. Oh my God. But you know what, Tom Carr? Both teams actually deserve it, and so do we, because Gaelic football has been absolutely exhilarating the last two Sundays thanks to these two wonderful teams. And once again, Mayo go to the dressing room at the Ennis Road, Kerry go to the dressing room at the City End, and we've 20 more minutes of this wonderful game on the Saturday game. Let's look at the full-time score. Kerry 3-11, Mayo 3-11. So Mayo are playing from left to right as we look at it. In other words, with that wind advantage in the first period of extra time, 10 minutes. A most enjoyable, invigorating afternoon in the city of Limerick.
Yeah, I don't think any major changes. Mayo full back line lining out as they did. Kerry full forward line lining out as they did.
I just see Tom Richie Feeney is on. He's playing centre half forward. Ball is thrown in. First period of extra time is underway, and away we go again. Doing all the hard work, trying to get a little bit of space. As Jonathan Lyne loses out ultimately. Jason Doherty dropping this ball in, would still pose problems for Kerry. Fisted away on this occasion. Richie Feeney will be happy to see it out over the end line, or sideline I should say. Richie Feeney, good ball, nice turn, great score. It's that man again, Cillian O'Connor.
What a great score. He caught it, but what a great ball. Super ball in between three Kerry players. Delivers a nice simple pass. Looks to kick off his left, turns on his right, doesn't even have a look. He's had a super game. What a part he's played all afternoon.
Kick out from Brian Kelly. Superbly gathered by David Moran. Barry John Keane makes the run into space. Probably rushed his shot just a little bit too quickly here. James O'Donoghue's on it. Kieran Donaghy. Good anticipation by Lee Keegan. Tom Parsons as far as Michael Conroy. Still Conroy, giving a little bit of space. Ball inside to Jason Doherty, surely being held by Aidan O'Mahony. Runs on to Kevin McLaughlin, and that is over the bar. It's McLaughlin's first point in this All-Ireland semi-final replay, and it puts the Connacht champions 2 points in front.
Nice control play, nice composed play, but Michael Conroy, who have been playing a bigger part even in the latter half of the second half, is coming into this game. They're free. You can see the fresh legs, Marty. He has them. Barry John Keane has them.
Tom Parsons has the fielding ability. Alan Freeman makes the diagonal run, and look at Freeman here. Well spotted by Parsons. Coming through the middle, it's Keegan! And good covering by Peter Crowley. And he picks up an injury.
Crucial covering by Peter Crowley, but that certainly had goal written all over it. And a 5-point lead after 3 or 4 minutes in extra time is a massive lead, and I think it's cramped as much as anything else. We'll see a fair bit of evidence of that now over the next 20 minutes. Players picking up cramp. No matter how fit they are, when you're at this level of tempo and speed and endurance, you will get cramp.
Good covering, as we mentioned, by Peter Crowley, because Lee Keegan was just fingertips away.
Oh, he was in there
gathering the ball keenly.
He was in there, and what a difference a goal it made. Would really suck the air out of a team. And Mayo certainly have started much more brightly. Kerry yet to find their feet in this 10 minutes. And it's all been quite traditional, Marty. The kick-outs out to the middle of the park, man on man. Not much evidence of blanket defences. It's just players getting back, working hard.
Knocked away by Anthony Marr. Was judged to have been fouling, so it's another free for Mayo. Seamus O'Shea. Knocked down. Clever play by Kerry, down for his Park Kilkenny, who's played well since being introduced in the second half. Aidan O'Mahony, one of the two 34-year-olds for Kerry, now playing in the full back line. Mark O'Shea being the other. Anthony Marr has the time to recover. Declan O'Sullivan. Marr again available. Kieran Donaghy is waiting for the high dropping ball, and it arrives. Little push by Kevin Kane, spotted by the referee.
Oh, that's a very harsh decision. 2 players he's allowed to challenge for that ball. Watch it as it's dropping, both of them. In fact, he's in front. Oh, I see nothing, and the whistle had even gone before that. There's no free there, Martin.
Soft free, as Kevin Keane's nodding in the head would seem to concur with our words.
Because in fairness to Cormac Riley, he's been letting a lot of play go, and to pull for that one, that's really harsh.
Simple tap over point for Barry John Keane.
Gives Kerry a foothold in this 10 minutes, which they needed, because it had a little bit of a danger that it might run away from them. Mayo, 2 points. Yeah, I mean, we see it there again, Marty. I just don't see it.
Peter Crowley read the situation well. Paul Murphy, David Moore, Kieran O'Leary. Easy for Keith Higgins. James O'Donoghue not following up, and Keith Higgins continues. Tom Parsons, Conroy. That's a good ball in towards Alan Freeman, and Mark O'Shea was trying to keep an eye on the full forward from Ahamore, and that is the second 45.
Crucial toe poke by Mark O'Shea. He just got his foot into it, and Freeman, if he had collected that ball, he had a great opportunity. But Mark O'Shea, the old head for the road, Brilliant play, showing his experience, scoring opportunity for Mayo. But one of the things I see Mayo doing is lofting in similar ball into the square as Kerry are doing, but they don't have it Donaghy inside. It's a little bit of a waste of time. They need to run the ball.
He's already scored 2-5, including a penalty. And a rather nasty cut over his right eye, following a collision with his teammate, Aidan O'Shea. Hits this well, but it's gone to the left. Remains a 1-point game as we head towards the 7th minute of the first period of extra time.
Yeah, normally a free taker would be looking for somebody to come short, give him a ball back. On that occasion, mental tiredness could be kicking in at this stage.
Tom Parsons, great catch. Available to his right is Kevin McLaughlin. McLaughlin cuts in, hits it well, but again, just to the left and wide.
And all those wides are so crucial. They're crucial for both teams. Keeps Kerry in it. They're crucial misses for Mayo because they need those scores, and Kerry will get a purple patch at some stage. It's been on Mayo since the beginning of this half. Kerry will get their opportunities, and they may make more of it than Mayo are making at the minute.
The Gaelic grounds in Limerick, one of the best facilities indeed in Munster. The floodlights are now on for this extra period. Jonathan Lyon, Declan O'Sullivan in space, Tom Parsons, Lee Keegan in hot pursuit. Still Declan O'Sullivan, getting by several challenges. Flicks it inside to Barry John Keane. Available to his right is James O'Donoghue, but Colin Boyle is judged to have been fouling. Colin Boyle is explaining to the referee exactly the challenge. And let's see if he's right.
Colin Boyle is absolutely fuming. I mean, there is no foul there. That's 2 frees for Kerry. Neither of them deserve. If you go in terms of the pattern of the game, the crowd really annoyed with that. Colin Boyle really frustrated, puts Mayo back on the back foot again. 2 handy frees for Kerry.
Barry John Keane with his second tap over point. Sides are level again for the 5th time in this exhilarating semi-final replay.
Yeah, and it won't be for the last time, Marty. And the substitutions now being made, loads of them. They get as many fresh legs on that pitch as they can.
Brendan Harrison is now on for Donald Vaughan. Kick out from Robbie Hennell, knocked down, picked up by David Moore. Jonathan Lyon gives it for Kieran O'Leary. O'Leary looking to see where Donaghy is. James O'Donoghue is the target. Flicks one in, Faris Kieran Donaghy. He's going for the overlap. Good defending on this occasion by Mayo, but they kind of get their signals mixed up. But they get the benefit of Kieran Donaghy, I think, touching the ball on the ground. And good luck to you, Kevin Keane, if you're going to try and get the ball off Kieran Donaghy, because he is holding on for dear life.
No, and really he should be releasing that ball. Shouldn't be allowed to play the ball on the ground. Mayo want to get it going as quick as possible. And Cormac Riley will add 20 yards. Not much good to Mayo really in those situations. Not much of a punishment. Kieran Donaghy's achieved what he wanted, delaying the game, allowing his defence to get back. A bit of sportsmanship.
Keith Higgins. Richie Feeney is available. Mickey Conroy, good defender. In comes Peter Crowley. Mark O'Shea was so tight on Mickey Conroy, and he's there again, just about recovered. Pat Kilkenny, Mark O'Shea, his experience, a vital component to give it to Kilkenny. Kilkenny wins a free just outside the Kerry half of the field.
And that's what happens. The fouls go in, the lazy fouls go in when players get tired. And I'm looking at Kevin McLaughlin. He's literally not here to run another inch.
Barry John Keane, Tom, ball in towards Kieran Donaghy. No free.
Oh yeah, and there's A lot of angst among the crowd for some of the decisions made in that half, but a few of the players really out on their feet, Marty. I'm looking at Kevin McLaughlin. He went to run to make a tackle. He actually couldn't move, looked to the sideline, not much left in him.
Well, after a first period of extra time, guess what? In the Gaelic grounds in Limerick, it's level. Kerry 3-13, Mayo 3-13. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the second period of extra time. Kerry and Mayo are still at it at the Gaelic grounds in Limerick. And it is now 7:10. The game started at 5 o'clock. Here comes Jonathan Lyne. Can he put Kerry on their way? What about that first score? From a substitute.
He can with style, Marty. What a great score. And Kerry are after starting in a similar fashion that Mayo did. Seamus O'Shea out to the middle of the park. The Kerry duo, as they started this game, finishing it like an Anthony Maher and David Moore.
Anthony Maher gets his fingertips to it. Look at Aidan O'Mahony. Bravely going down on the ball. And he now knows that he's already injured and he's in trouble here.
Yeah, and judging by his body language and the frenziness of his waving to the sideline, he's in trouble.
Meanwhile, Declan O'Sullivan takes the free quickly. David Moore trying to get inside that Mayo cover. Brendan Harrison can't prevent him from taking the kick. Kieran Donaghy comes out to gather and does it the second attempt. Half of Mayo is around him. Ball is free. It's there for Mayo. And good defending.
Great defending, especially with Donaghy, inspiring fear among the Mayo defence all afternoon, and he did come up with that ball, but they didn't let him away.
Lee Keegan, Aidan O'Mahony, who's obviously suffering from cramp, just outside the camera at the moment. And the referee now, as you can now see it, has halted play because Aidan O'Mahony can't move with cramp. And indeed, Tom, it's a point you were making about fitness. And he's such a powerful, strong, passionate player. He went into the challenge, but he knew immediately he was in trouble.
Yeah, well, you're going to see loads of that over the next few minutes. Mayo players down with it as well, not just Aidan O'Mahony.
So Brian Sheehan is going to be introduced. Aidan O'Mahony would seem to not be available for the remaining 8 minutes or so in this extra time period.
Well, he's certainly gone. And it's who to replace him. And really positions, tactics, totally gone out the window. It's a scrap per possession, scrap for a scoring opportunity, and who has the talent and skill to take those scores.
Throw ball going to be between David Moore and Aidan O'Shea. Cathal Barrett going to be introduced. And coming off is Colin Boyle, who also seems to be in a spot of bother, and I have to say he deserves to be tired. He has given it absolutely everything.
Yeah, and has been exceptional right throughout the 80 or 90 minutes. Super.
Here comes Aidan O'Shea, being pursued by Killian Young. Aidan O'Shea stepping in. Is there anybody there for the pass? Hefty challenge. Ball breaks for David Moore. No free given. Moore spotted that there was a man available. That's Pat Kilkenny. Jonathan Lyne laying it off far as Brian Sheehan, heading towards the Mayo 45. Sheehan gone for the return. Barry John Keane gives it to Kieran O'Leary. It's dropping. Kieran Donaghy is underneath it. No, he's not. Ball is wide.
Oh yeah, and Kerry looking much more energetic than Mayo. Mayo really out on their feet. Some of the older players, very tough. O'Shea going through. Was it a shoulder to shoulder? Cormac Riley, the most important man to make that decision. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good in keeping along with the game.
Kick out from Henley. Gathered and laid off quickly. Kieran O'Leary fouling. Chris Barrett. Aidan O'Shea. Mickey Conroy. Richie Feeney available. Still Conroy has to go back and try and get a little bit of support. Richie Feeney takes his eye off it. Gathered by Anthony Marr. Killian Young. Brian Sheehan available. In space. Making a dashing run over to this side is this man, Barry John Keane. Kieran Donaghy is hovering around the house. Barry John Keane drops it in, and the ball is wide. And there's a sigh all the way down to Kenmare and back.
Oh, that was so close, Marty. It looked over, and if it was, it would have been a killer one. But Barry John Keane has been so influential in the 25 minutes he's been on the pitch. Mark and Tom Coniff, who's been here all afternoon. Enough ball into a fresh player who's playing on a guy who's been, or a player who's been here on the beginning. That's tough going. And you know when you're marking him, he has the legs on you.
Robert Riley looking like he has cramp as well. A wonderful catch by Anthony Marr. Lays it off and then gathers it again. Free is quickly taken. Mark O'Shea. Good ball up for his Paul Gainey. Lovely skill by Gainey. Under pressure, hits it. Fantastic point by Paul Gainey. One of the scores of the game, and we've had so many of them.
And so many from him. That must be his fourth or fifth. He rode 2 tackles to take that. Such strength at the end of the game, and to be able to pull it over. It looks like Kerry is going to need something special from Mayo. Certainly possession now.
Gainey's 4th point of the game. And here come the Connacht champions. 2 points down. 3 minutes. Approximately in 30-40 seconds left. Still time. Look at the pressure from Kerry. Brian Sheehan gives it down the middle. Good work by Jonathan Lyne. Survives the challenge. Has the composure to spot a man available, Paul Gainey. Brian Sheehan. Jonathan Lyne was available again, but Brian Sheehan, uncharacteristically, went for his own score.
I shouldn't have done that. Had the pass onto his right hand side to Lyne. Could have given it.
3 minutes left in the second period of extra time. Ball down towards Richie Feeney. Superbly gathered. Great defending by Kerry and by Mark Griffin. Substitute, that was the only ball that he had to win, and he won it, to his credit. Declan O'Sullivan. Jonathan Lyne. Kieran O'Leary. Kerry happy to retain possession. Anthony Marr. Brian Sheehan. The clock ticks towards the 18th minute, or the 8th minute of the second period of extra time. Still Declan O'Sullivan. Farrell's Jonathan Lyne stepping inside, giving himself a chance to take a shot and put it over the bar. Jonathan Lyne has arrived with 2 brilliant points in the second period of extra time. And Kerry lead by 3 now.
And Kerry are full of running. It's as if they've just begun the game, but it's easy to do that when you're staring at victory right in front of you. 3 points up, few minutes left, playing against a really tired team. They have nothing left. It looks like the end of the road for this heroic Mayo team. Marty.
Lee Keegan is out on his feet. Chris Barrett wants to take the free quickly.
The goal is the only thing for Mayo. They need to put the ball in there quickly. Killian O'Connor, the only man who's capable of getting it at this stage.
It's a testing ball for any defence. Out comes magnificent David Moore. Lays it off for his Killian Young. Stepping into the Mayo half of the field. Mark O'Shea. Brian Sheehan. Back first, Kieran Donaghy, who's obviously been told by Eamon Fitzmaurice, go back and defend. But in nips Keith Higgins. It's a goal or nothing at all from Mayo at this stage. 53 seconds left on the clock. Anything is possible with these two teams. Bursting forward is Alan Freeman. He's brought down. It's a free in for Mayo.
It is only a goal. All Kerry have to do is keep this game stopped, delay it, get back on the line. And if Mayo need a goal, they looked up at that stage. They didn't even have a player in the box, Marty. So they're not going to get a goal without a player in there. getting a little bit out of control. Frustration from Mayo.
Tempers becoming frayed. This is ugly and indeed unnecessary, because since 5 o'clock this has been played in a very sporting manner. But the referee Cormac Riley really has to take control here, because what was simple shoving and pushing has now turned into an all-out brawl, which is unsavoury and doesn't in any way reflect the sporting game that we had last Sunday, and indeed as well here. There's an official involved here as well.
Mayor Furness is in the middle of it. Now this is very messy stuff, Marty. We can do without this, and yeah, it has been a very sporting game, and fairness to both teams, due credit to them.
We now have a little crowd control issue, because we have a fan that needs to get off the pitch, and more supporters need to be escorted off the field.
And it's certainly a pity it's finished like this. There's a big man making his way onto the pitch, is taking a few to hold him back, and he's not happy. Crowd are not happy. Very unsavoury incidents. And reinforcement being called for, and all this just serving to delay the game. And certainly I can understand Mayo's frustration. I did feel in the first half of extra time the 2 frees went against them. They wouldn't be happy with that.
So the referee, what is he going to do now?
Well, Marty, what can he do really? I mean, there's 22, 23 players I think I counted involved in the skirmish, and you can't pick one out of that. He's well off just give the free, get on with the game, because it really is academic at this stage. I mean, the game is over. What he's going to add for this, we don't know. It still won't be enough. And Kerry really the fitter team, fresher team, more energetic.
Well, in the last 10 minutes that would have to be said, to be honest with you. But then what is the referee going to do here? He's had his conversation with Maurice Deegan and Fergal Kelly, and it's the colour of the card, and indeed who is he going to speak to. He wants Declan O'Sullivan, I think.
Well, what will hurt Declan O'Sullivan is a straight red card, because this...
Kieran Donaghy is the one that he has isolated.
The only thing he needs to avoid is a straight red.
It's a yellow card.
No, it makes no difference at this stage. Yellow means nothing. Is there any stroke of luck left for Mayo, Marty, that they might be able to get this into the back of the net? Hard to see it.
Well, there are just 3 Mayo players outside the Kerry 45-metre line. They're the only 3 footballers in that side of the pitch. Everybody is in around the goal mouth.
So that's 26 players in around the goal mouth, Marty, and this certainly won't go straight into the back of the net. If it does, it'll take about 10 deflections.
Anthony Marr is now on a yellow card, not that that's relevant at this stage. The free has been pushed near the goalposts, near the chance for Cillian O'Connor.
And Cillian, I've no doubt, asked Cormac Riley what was left in this game. He's making the decision in his head. Would we have a chance for 2 more scores after this, or is this it?
This is the moment. Here comes Cillian O'Connor.
He's going for it.
Has to be a goal. Stopped. Cillian Young has it. And the ball comes out with Brian Sheehan. Right beside him is Kieran O'Leary. So too is Barry John Keane. In the middle is Paul Gainey. And there's nobody else around. Here comes Kevin Keane. Never took his eye off the ball. Is there one charge left for Mayo? Everybody, all 36,256 people on their feet here. Keith Higgins, ball inside towards Lee Keegan. Here's Alan Freeman. Is he brought down? It surely is another free. And the referee Cormac Riley has blown his whistle. But there's a bit of afters going on again.
There's Cillian O'Connor reaching out for the ball with his foot, caught a player. And this is totally getting out of hand. But we're careering towards an inevitable end and a Kerry victory.
And there's another free from Mayo. Robbie Henley, goalkeeper, has come forward this time as well. The drama continues.
Well, it's palpable, but and while the game was played in a sporting manner right throughout the afternoon, there was elements of tension throughout the game, but a good positive tension in the game. I'm not excusing the behaviour of this, but you can understand the frustration having put in. Oh, a red for Killian O'Connor.
It's a red card for Killian O'Connor.
Yeah, he did just as he was going for the ball. It was just in frustration. We might see it again. Unlucky, but a deserved red card.
There is now nobody in the Mayo half of the field. Robbie Henley is running down. What you see is all 28 players, I can now tell you, around here. Kieran Donaghy comes away with it, not very far. Referee blows the one-time whistle, and Kerry are in the All-Ireland final on the 21st of September. The battle is over. The kingdom rejoice. Heartbreak for Mayo and James Horan.
Absolute heartbreak. Your heart would go out to them. And you know, many years ago, not something too dissimilar, 91, and at Dublin and Meath, 4 games. We had so much excitement here this afternoon, but I can certainly understand their feeling. They gave it absolutely everything. Probably a tired Mayo team, Marty. Kerry had the energy, they had the fitness, they had the players, they had the bench. All of them made a contribution.
Well, the scenes there in the last 5-6 minutes were totally unacceptable. It ended ultimately with Killian O'Connor getting a red card and Kieran Donaghy being shown a yellow, but unsavoury. But that shouldn't indeed dominate, because over the last 2 hours or more, this has been played in a very sporting manner.
Yeah, and I'm sure it will be talking points, but they're much more exciting and crucial talking points than the malaise that we saw. There was only a byproduct of the tension, byproduct of the occasion, and the end for a Mayo team, and possibly the end for a few of those players on a Mayo team. The beginning for some of the Kerry players. Fresh team, and they go to Croke Park with no fear whatsoever of the opposition. And tomorrow certainly that opposition will be answered.
Fantastic character by both teams, it must be said. And as we've mentioned, huge heartbreak for Mayo, but for Kerry, they've come through an amazing journey when they were tested so many times and produced it in the second period when their fitness seemed to be that little bit better.
Well, yeah, their fitness and their composure, because the scores that they took, the last 2 or 3 scores were very good scores. They were work scores. The problem for Mayo is they didn't have that little bit of creativity, and they didn't have it because they didn't have the energy to get into the positions or support the ball. They had given absolutely everything, and you can see both sets of players running to shake hands with each other. The sporting manner is still there among them. This will all be forgotten. The malaise will be forgotten. They mean nothing. What a year for Eamon Fitzmaurice.
What a year indeed for Eamon Fitzmaurice, because after extra time in this replay, there is the full-time score. Kerry in the All-Ireland final on September 21st. Full-time after extra time. Kerry 3:16, Mayo 3:30.